Hi, it's Eric, Real World Readiness. Today we're going to talk about this little power bank I got off of Amazon. No name. Is it worth putting in your kit? So Mrs. Real World and I are taking a backcountry trip to Glacier National Park this summer, and I wanted a good battery pack to take with us so we could power the phones and our cameras. We could charge our cameras to take pictures, power a few LED lights, nothing, maybe I have a little bug repeller that charges by a USB port. A couple little things like that, nothing big, and we're backpacking, so I don't really want to carry my big heavy Jackery unit. So I found on Amazon this unit here. This is about $30 on Amazon. I'm going to put the link down below because I'm going to recommend it. Spoiler, I'm going to recommend it. I don't know what the brand name is. It might be Jskei. I've never heard of it. There's no brand name written on it. I took a chance. $30 was a good deal, and it paid off. So let's take a look at the features here. It's got a solar panel on it, which was important to me because, like I said, we're going to be in the back country. I won't be able to recharge this from wall power. So I'd like to be able to at least bring back some of its charge through the solar function. It has a flashlight on it because every battery pack you buy has got to have a little LED flashlight on it, which is handy. I just think it's funny that every single one has that feature. Everything. Doesn't matter what it is. It's an electric can opener with flashlight. It's a cordless car key cutter with flashlight every time. But anyways, it's got a flashlight that seems pretty bright. I kind of like it. That's nice to have. Here's the interesting thing about this one. I didn't buy it because of this. I bought it for its capacity, which we'll talk about in a minute. But it does have 4 separate built-in charger cords that it has with it all. You know, they're attached to it. They're always there, so you're not going to not have your cord. It's got the lightning for Apple. It's got the USB-C. It's got this, I don't remember what this one's called, but the little D-shaped clip that a lot of things use. And this one here that, I don't know what it's for. So maybe it's for a Samsung, I don't know. Anyway, it's got those 4, but it also has, in the base plate, has another USB, another USB-C, and another one of these little guys that, I don't know what the name is, the other standard charging outlet. Now, primarily, you charge this off of the outlets because that's what it says in the material that came with it. And also, small solar panels are awesome, but they're really low power and it takes forever to charge. We'll do a solar test on it here in a minute. We'll see just how well that works. And also, I forgot to mention too, it also has the contact charger where you can set your phone on top of it to charge it. So that's handy as well. It feels well built. It's rugged plastic. The edges are rubberized, so they can take a little bit of impact. It feels pretty well built. I think it's going to last. The only other feature it has on it really is the charge indicator lights. There are 4 blue lights across the top that indicate the state of charge. It came at about a 3-bar charge. It has a green light that charges up when it's charging off of solar, and it has a red light in the same location that indicates charging off a wall outlet. That's it. That's one of the things I don't like about it is the 4 lights. It doesn't give you a real precise readout on how much power is left, how much power you're using. And also, I don't think they're very accurate. I tested it, which we'll see here in a second, but it stayed at 4 bars forever. It took forever to get off of 4 bars. So I think that it might be a little optimistic on the charge, but we'll see here when we go to the next segment and we plug some things into it. Yeah. This feels like the best location to get the technical information off of it. The Amazon listing wasn't super good. So you can see there it is 49.8 amp hours, which is a lot for a little battery. You can charge your phone multiple times over. And it does have a solar charging capability. It says of 5 volts and 0.4 amps. 0.4 amps is not very much, so we can anticipate it's going to be very slow solar charging. More of a trickle charge. All right, let's plug some things into it. All right, I've got it plugged into 2 items. It will be 3 in a minute. I film these videos on my phone, so I'm going to have to plug my phone in off camera. But I've got it fully charged. I've got it plugged into my laptop, which is charging. And I've got it plugged into my weather radio, which is also charging. And when I get off, I'm going to plug it into my phone. And I will charge them all until I get some significant, noticeable, like a bar or 2 drop, so we can move on to the solar test. One flaw, these little cords, they're great, but they are very short. There's not a lot of room to charge multiple items off of them unless you're creative with your spacing like this. But let's let them suck up some juice and see how it does. All right, so the capacity of this thing is absolutely awesome. I was planning on charging those items for, you know, a couple of hours and dropping it down. I ended up having to just plug some things into it overnight because I ran out of time waiting for the battery to show a discharge. I would say that this thing is accurate in the capacity rating that's given. It can charge a lot of things for a lot of time. I ended up charging my laptop turned on overnight, and it still had 1 bar left in the morning. I also charged my phone several times throughout the evening from, you know, half a charge to full, and my radio is fully charged as well. So for capacity, I am super happy with this, and that's a big part of why I'm going to recommend this item. It may be slow to charge by the sun, which we're going to move to in a minute here, and it may be a little bigger than I'd like, but I'll tell you what, this thing packs a lot of juice in a small package. Okay, I kind of ran out of time on this week's video, so we're going to have to do this part at work. As soon as I decided to do a solar test on this little guy, we got cloudy days and rain, so I'm taking advantage of the sun when I got it here on my lunch hour. I'm going to go ahead and hang the charger here in the sunlight that I have, and we will see how long it takes to charge. We're starting at 1 bar, and I'm going to check on it every hour and see how far we go. Unless it starts raining, then I'll pull it in the test. It's partially cloudy, a little bit, not really overcast, but not really sunny either. So we'll call it a real world field test because it's not ideal solar conditions. Probably had it in the Arizona sun sitting on a rock in the desert. It's going to charge faster. It's going to charge right now. But hey, things aren't always perfect, and it's a real world readiness around here. Okay, well, it's 3:30. It's time to go home, so we're going to stop the test. I ran for about 4 hours, and it charged pretty good the whole time, but I'm still at 1 bar. Now, I don't know what to make of that because it also has been not great sunshine. We had about half an hour it was actually literally raining. I had to bring it in. There's been a lot of these little white clouds in front of the sun, which drastically reduces solar efficiency. But I would say that probably it's a pretty big panel, but not in the big picture. I'd say probably what you got here is the solar will help to keep it topped off and give you just a little more extended use out of it if you're in the backcountry or a grid down situation. But it probably is still a pretty lengthy process to charge the whole thing just off the panel. It's probably your best bet is to primarily charge either off a bigger power bank or a generator or off your outlet if you actually have power access to your electricity. So what do I think? In summary, overall, I like this, especially at the price that it came at. It has a lot of charging options. I love the capacity. It holds a lot of juice. You can charge your things repeatedly with this. If you were doing a day trip or a couple of day trip like Mrs. Real World and I are going to do, I think this will keep your electronics functional and doing what they're supposed to do. Solar charging, slow. Not a surprise. Like I said, almost all these small solar panels like this are not very effective. They're small. Solar technology is still improving all the time. They're getting better, but they're still small, and 0.4 amps is a very slow charge rate. But I feel like if you're out and about and you leave this in the sun during the day, maybe you hang it on the back of your pack so the sun can hit it while you're hiking, you're going to regain at least some of your charge. You're going to extend the usefulness of this item. It may not be the best way to count on. It may not be something that you want to count on as your only source of charges in a long-term power outage, but you could also charge this off of a bigger power bank or a generator if you had that option. Like I have a Jskei power bank, review for that right here, that I use for charging things when I'm around the house. It's just too big and heavy to take backpacking, and this is smaller, more portable. It can go in a go bag or in a car. The flashlight's great. We talked about the flashlight. It has a lot of charging options. It feels rugged. It feels well built. If I have anything on that in the future, I'll probably drop a short down for you guys. If I take it on this trip to Glacier in July and find out, oh, this thing was garbage, don't buy it, I'll come back and I'll add that in a short for an update to this review. So go get it. If you need a power bank, this is the one you're looking for right here. Go and grab it. You're not going to regret it. I'm going to put a link to it down below to the Amazon thing. I'm not a paid promoter of Amazon. I'm not getting anything from them. It's just a thing I found that I thought you guys would like. It's not a sponsored product or anything like that. All right, we'll see you for the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay ready.